Fantasy Bros, welcome back to this fantasy football astrology channel. Here we are. I told you guys I was going to do a buy low, sell high video. Okay, so here it is. We've got our buy low, sell high video coming at you. We should be during this time thinking about trades to win our league, and I wanted to specifically kind of make this video about saving our season. I don't know if any of you are out there like me. You might be hitting the panic button. I know I'm 2-1 in my league, but I'm one of the lowest points scored, and I'm going to talk about a lot of these players I have a very intimate connection with. So this is you're getting a lot of personal insight to how I feel about these. I'm an owner of Jalen Hurts. I'm an owner of Deebo Samuel. I'm an owner of Jamar Chase, and I'm also an owner of Jonathan Taylor. So how I've made 2-1 this year. Well, I've been blessed by the fantasy football gods apparently, because last week I played one of the lowest points scored players, even though he had Henry and Cooper Kupp. So I've kind of been skidding by, and I'm kind of hitting the panic button right now in that league. And so I want to tell you guys how I'm thinking about to make a trade to kind of save my season and kind of put me back up in a realm of being one of the best teams in the league. Okay, so not easy to do, right? If you want to win a league, if you ever won a fantasy football league, the consistent factor that you have is you have league winning players. Okay, and so to get a league winning player out of somebody's hands, if you want to get a Derrick Henry, you want to get maybe a Saquon Barkley or a Christian McCaffrey, you try to get these players, it's like pulling teeth, man. Even to make basic trades is like pulling teeth. So it can be tough at times, but hey, that's why we buy low on guys. We buy when they have low weeks. And so up here at the top, I've got Kyler Murray. Now, I know Kyler Murray didn't have that low of a week. It was just a kind of pedestrian week for Kyler Murray. Okay, but Kyler Murray is an absolute cheat code, okay? So this is probably going to be one of the lowest weeks he has, and he played against Jacksonville. The Kyler Murray owners were probably expecting a lot out of him this week, and I know the guy in my league lost his week by 2 points, okay? So Jalen Hurts outscored Kyler Murray last week by 2 points. And so right now, I'm in a deal where I'm trying to flip Jalen Hurts and Deebo Samuel to get Kyler Murray and Jalen Waddle. Okay, so he hasn't really accepted that trade yet. And so I'm kind of waiting for him to, I don't know if he's seen the trade. It's hard to tell. It's kind of frustrating to sit there and people aren't responding to your trades. At least cancel it or whatever so I can maybe sweeten the pot. So what I do in this instance is I'll just resend the same trade. Hopefully they'll get the notification to pop up on their phone again if they somehow missed it. And I won't wait too long, and then I'll kind of probably resend the trade. I'll maybe take out Jalen Waddle, and I'll just do like a Kyler Murray for a Jalen Hurts and Deebo Samuel. Guys, I am a Jalen Hurts owner. I think he's going to be good for the season, but if you can swing him for a Kyler Murray, absolutely do it. The big problem with Jalen Hurts, for one, he's not compatible with his receivers as far as astrology goes, and this is the Fantasy Football Astrology channel. I do talk about astrology. I do think it makes a difference. So he's not compatible with his receivers from an astrology standpoint. And another standpoint that I see happening is Jalen Reagor is underwhelming, and even Devontae Smith is really getting bullied out there. Okay, so his receivers are these little diminutive guys, and they're not creating so much separation that it would blow you away. Maybe Devonta Smith is doing pretty good. You would think Jalen Reagor was touted as a big speedster, would be able to make some breakaway plays. He hasn't been showing that, guys. And so I am really low on the whole Eagles offense. Now, the Cowboys did a great job in making them look worse than they were. Jalen Hurts, Micah Parsons really mitigated Jalen Hurts' ability to get a lot of rushing yards. And so, but still, even so, with the receiving corps, and I'd rather have Jalen Hurts have some big possession receivers that he has great chemistry with. And so I'm trying to flip him, and I'm trying to flip Deebo Samuel right now. Deebo Samuel, he went up against a really tough secondary. We can kind of expect a bounce back, but with Ayuk there coming back, you kind of wonder. how much he's going to be able to sustain that production. So still likes Deebo Samuel, but I am trying to sell him this week to see if I can get, there's so many good players. You won't see on this list Calvin Ridley, Stephon Diggs, even Tyreek Hill. I mean, those are really big names that we want to consider, of course. And I just wanted to talk about some of the names you guys probably maybe aren't considering as much, okay? So that's why you don't see a lot of those other big names on this list. Wanted to talk about, this is what one of the main reasons too I'm targeting Kyler Murray is DeAndre Hopkins is really low right now. And he's going up against the Rams this week. So he's probably going to have, if he plays, right, he's going to go up against Ramsey. He's probably going to have another really low week. Okay, so the DeAndre Hopkins owners are going to be totally bent out of shape. You can probably swing a Jamar Chase for a DeAndre Hopkins. And by season's end, guys, these guys have a really nice playoff schedule as well. So if you can get that stack, okay, you want to get these stacks. You want to double down on your bets, right? Because chances are Kyler Murray is going to have a really good week pretty much almost every week. And DeAndre Hopkins, you know, so if he has an off week, you're probably going to lose anyway, right? So we want to double down on those stacks. Kyler Murray's going to have a great week. DeAndre Hopkins would too. So that's the thought process behind the stacking, guys. You really want to get that. That's going to help us win our league. So after next week, DeAndre Hopkins is probably going to be even more of a buy low candidate. So we'll be able to swing a Jamar Chase. Swing Jamar Chase for DeAndre Hopkins this week if you can. And, you know, Jamar Chase has a really cake matchup with Jacksonville. The trade won't process by that time, depending on how your league works. But still, there it is, guys. If you can get these two players, I think we can save our season, okay? Moving on, Terry McLaurin is a guy I have in here. I love his astrology with Heineken, okay? McLaurin is a Virgo, Heineken's a Pisces. They're polar opposites. And guys, if Heineken continues to play this well, he's another interesting stack option. I mean, he just put up 20 points against the Bills, okay? Put up, I want to say, at least 20 rushing yards. He can get a little extra for you there. And he's just been playing pretty dang good fantasy football. A lot of points there. Okay, so Terry McLaurin didn't get that many targets last week. He's kind of low right now. And you can probably get Heineken off of your waiver wire if you think he's going to be an ascending prospect, which makes sense. He's a young player, right? So he's probably going to get even better. And he's got, Heineken also has good astrology with De'Ami Brown. And I'll have to look up the other guys. Don't want to get too caught up on that right now. But moving on to Robert Woods, I thought I would include him because in my league, somebody just traded Tim Patrick for Robert Woods. It's like, wow, that's how low Robert Woods owners are right now. And it's almost inevitable. Woods is getting the snaps. It's almost inevitable that Woods is going to bounce back, and Tim Patrick is going to have to face Jerry Jeudy returning from injury. So when you're looking at that, very interesting. Tim Patrick does have excellent astrology with Bridgewater and Luck. He's a Sagittarius. Both of those quarterbacks, Luck and Bridgewater, are Scorpios, so they move right into Sagittarius. He has the best astrology. He's got better astrology than Sutton. He's got better astrology than Jeudy. And so Tim Patrick might be the truth, but he also just might not get the opportunities based on circumstances, okay? So Robert Woods, a really interesting buy low target here. You probably don't, if you can give up just a Tim Patrick to get him, whoa, man, do that. Okay, so moving on, in the buy low, guys, I have Jonathan Taylor. I'm a Jonathan Taylor owner, and you notice I'm still holding, okay? He's got Miami this week. You pretty much have to run the ball in Miami. I mean, you don't want to go up against that secondary. You'd much rather keep the ball on the ground against that defense. Jonathan Taylor, guys, another interesting astrology point here. We know something. Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor are both Capricorns. We notice a phenomenon with Derrick Henry, that he gets stronger as the season goes. Okay, so in astrology, you get stronger as you get closer to your birthday. Right? And so as Capricorns during that time, that's showing to be a phenomena that's been occurring. Derrick Henry gets stronger. Last year, Jonathan Taylor got stronger as the season went. He's been a very durable back. That's a really positive thing. He still averaged over 6 yards a carry last week. And so I fully expect Jonathan Taylor to bounce back. And it's probably going to be as early as this week. So hurry up and get on Jonathan Taylor right now if you can. You can get him probably for dirt cheap from most owners, okay? Elijah Mitchell, another really cheap guy you might be able to pull. Throw a Deebo Samuel in there. Try to get an Elijah Mitchell because he's really, in my eyes, the most talented back on that roster. He's just dealing with a bit of a stinger, a shoulder injury. He should be back, and he might carry dominance throughout this whole season. So if you got Elijah Mitchell carrying that dominance even over Jeff Wilson, you just got a huge steal, okay? Really like the buy prospect on Elijah Mitchell. You should be able to get him for pretty cheap. Rondale Moore, okay? I've talked about that. If you're getting Kyler Murray, you might as well come down and get Rondale Moore. Guys, these guys have the same astrology as Cousins and Jefferson. I know there's been a lot of comparisons between Rondale Moore, and it took Jefferson a few weeks to get it going, okay? And he's got great astrology with the Leo going to Gemini. That's what we want to see, that fix going to that mutable, that fire going to that air. That's a strong attraction, okay? And we can almost expect A.J. Green to continue waning. I don't know how seriously we can really take A.J. Green anymore. So there it is, guys. Rondale Moore guy you could probably get on a little sneaky trade in all the packages. You kind of throw him in as an undervalue. And people, after that really low week last week, they'll probably just take it. But he's kind of a wait prospect. He's going to get better as he gets more familiar with that offense. Towards the end of the fantasy playoffs, he could be huge, okay? And that's the same kind of idea with Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle, especially with Brissett in there, he is a Sagittarius and Brissett is a Scorpio. So that's leading right into it, okay? Very good astrology there. I'm decently content with the astrology from Tua. He got, 12 targets or 12 receptions, something wild. It's not going to be long before he starts taking these to the house on a nice little slant route, or he makes his guy miss, and this guy's gone, okay? So he hasn't had that explosive week yet. I expect it's on its way with how many targets he's getting. And so that's what we have in the buy low. Like I said, there's still Calvin Ridley, Stefon Diggs, lots of other guys you already know about. I'm just trying to get your mind thinking in a different way, okay? All right, and yeah, I've talked about Jamar Chase. You know, he's not getting the targets. T. Higgins is going to be coming back, and but don't sell him for cheap, man. Get a DeAndre Hopkins. Get the best you can get out of that, right? And a CEH, guys. I've also been warning about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's kind of the odd man out as a Gemini. Reed, Mahomes, the offensive line are all earth and water signs, okay? And so he's an air sign. He doesn't really fit that well. He fumbled this week, even though he had great production. He did fumble. I've been a Jerick McKinnon. I've been touting his name for a while. I thought Jerick McKinnon looked great in the preseason. I think Darrell Williams was even more efficient. I think all the running backs have been more efficient than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So sell high on Helaire if you can. And that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. All the best.